Hey, I'm making this video here because a lot of people seem to still be unaware of the faults of Autism Speaks, so I'm going to be educating you on those faults in this video. Also, sorry if I hiss a lot in this video. I don't know how to stop that, and it's just a speaking habit of mine, so please ignore that, or try to, at least. Yeah, so let's begin. Okay. Where do the funds for Autism Speaks go? Contrary to popular belief, only 3% of the funds go towards something autism related. Even then, it goes towards therapy that tries to reverse those characteristics of those with autism. Stuff like self-stimulatory behaviors or anything of the sort. This is like if there was a group made to support homosexuality, only to send their funds towards homosexual rehab camps. Autism Speaks thinks that autism is a disease, based on this quote that can be found on their website. Autism Speaks has grown into the world's leading autism science and advocacy organization dedicated to funding research into the causes, prevention, treatments, and a cure for autism. That last part, a cure for autism, is the most problematic of what they say. This isn't the worst they've said about atypicals, though. They refer to us as a crisis, gravely ill, missing, and tragedies. Autism isn't a disease, it does need a cure, and it isn't inherently bad. A main thing to look for when it comes to support groups would be representation. For an autism acceptance group, wouldn't you expect at least one person on their board to have autism? Well, sorry, but not once in history have they had someone that meets this criteria, and yet they still insist that they're a trustable resource when it comes to information on autism. It's like if a cisgender person came up here and gave you a speech about what it's like to be transgender. Can you trust someone who's never experienced what they're talking about? Not in this context, no. The only board member in the past worth mentioning would be John Elder Robison. He originally joined Autism Speaks to educate the staff about what autism really is and how their viewpoint and practices aren't right. He made videos, sent letters, and presented slideshows. After a few months, he realized that his efforts were all pointless. AS never really acknowledged his teachings and kept doing whatever they felt was right. He later, of course, left the board. Do they really support us? No, of course they don't support atypicals. They want to put an end to those with autism, and I'll get into that in a second. But Autism Speaks can be found responsible for the absolutely abhorrent video that was titled, I Am Autism. It consisted of a disembodied voice talking about how 80% of families with autistic children end in divorces, which is now disproven, and how having a child with autism will ruin a parent's life, when in reality, it doesn't. Autistic children aren't very different from neurotypical children. Autism Speaks still hasn't apologized for that terrible video, even after most of the facts it spews are incorrect. We aren't acknowledged as finished people by AS. Their main logo is a missing puzzle piece, which refers to their idea that autistics are people with parts that are missing, which is, of course, untrue. That philosophy is simply intolerant and ignorant. Questionable practices. Autism Speaks has been known to support the Judge Rotenberg Center, an organization that uses electroshock devices, which at the press of a button can cause a shock to a patient that's stronger than a police taser, slapping, forced inhalation of ammonia, severe pinching, food/sleep deprivation, and long-term isolation on autistic people as punishment for even minor cases of them acting up. Although Autism Speaks also has their fair share of questionable ideals, on their website it reads, the Autism Treatment Network is a collaboration of Autism Speaks and some of the finest children's hospitals and academic institutions in North America, specializing in multidisciplinary medical care for those with autism. So basically, Autism Speaks hosts centers that stop autistic people from acting like, autistic people. They host these centers because they want to eliminate autistic people from the world. They have said, not word for word, that they want to figure out how to sense autism in children prior to birth so they can abort them before it spreads. Although I'm not entirely against abortion, I still believe it's wrong to abort a child just because they aren't developing in a way that you fancy. Conclusion: autism isn't a disease. It's not bad, and it's certainly not a tragedy. It enhances a person's senses or emotions, but dulls other senses. Basically, things that are quick for you are slow for us, and things that are slow for you are quick for us. None of this makes us any less human, though. We're still your friends, neighbors, or family. Although Autism Speaks is obviously a support group that should be supported, what are some groups, organizations, or pages that you should support? Well, I'll list off a few right now. The Autistic Self-Advocacy Network, the Autism Women's Network, Parenting Autistic Children with Love and Acceptance, the Thinking Person's Guide to Autism, the Autcast, Tash, and Adapt. And all my sources will be in the description. Thank you for sitting through this video. I know it's very different from my usual content of animation memes, but I was trying to vary it up a little bit, and I already had the script written for a school thing, so I decided to use it to just share it here because I thought that it was pretty okay, and I wanted to share information about this with the public that you might not know, or that the public might not know. So, hope you liked it. If you didn't, that's okay. Tell me why in the most constructive way you possibly can, because I want to improve these kinds of videos. But check out my other videos. Unless you don't like animation memes, then I suggest you don't, because that's what my YouTube channel is full of. So, sorry about that. But I might not make another one like this, but hopefully I will. Unless you don't like these videos, then congrats, because I might not make one of these again. Okay, thanks for watching.